Hello everyone, this is class 10 history chapter 1 part 4. Here I will discuss about the making of Germany, Italy and Britain, or we can say unification of Germany, Italy and Britain. First of all, let us discuss making of Germany or unification of Germany. That means Germany was not the united. So if the Germany was not united, or if the Germany was not a nation state, first of all, first paragraph, Kaiser William I of Prussia took the responsibility of unification of Germany. That means Kaiser William I, ruler of Prussia, king of Prussia, he took the responsibility of unification of Germany. Second paragraph, Otto von Bismarck, chief minister of Prussia. Okay, that means first paragraph, Kaiser William I. Kaiser William I, he was the ruler of Prussia. That means he was the king of Prussia, and his order was carried forward by his chief minister Otto von Bismarck. Here question might arise, 1 mark question. Who was Otto von Bismarck? Otto von Bismarck, he was the chief minister of Prussia and at the same time main architect of German unification. Now, Otto von Bismarck, with the help of military, he fought 3 major wars in 7 years. He fought 3 major wars in 7 years against Austria, Denmark and Hungary. Okay, and after defeating them, he was successful to unite Germany. So in January 1871, the Prussian king Kaiser William I was declared German emperor. Kaiser William I, he was the emperor, he was the ruler of Prussia. But after unification in the year 1871, Prussian king William I was declared German emperor. Here 1 mark question might arise. Who was declared German emperor in 1871? Answer will be Prussian king Kaiser William I. Okay, and after unification of Germany, Prussian measures and practices became the model of development in Germany, so that the feeling of oneness or the common feeling could be created in the united Germany. Now, let us discuss about the unification of Italy. Italians were scattered over several dynastic states. That means Italy was also not the united, it was scattered. For example, North Italy was under Austrian Habsburg Empire. North Italy was ruled by Austrian Habsburg Empire. Okay, south part of Italy was under domination of Bourbon king of Spain. That means South Italy was ruled by the ruler of Spain, and central part of Italy was ruled by the Pope. Pope means the religious head of the Christian community. And Sardinia Piedmont, that was also another part of Italy, was ruled by Italian princely house, ruler Victor Emmanuel II. That means Italy was scattered, it was not united. North Italy, it was under the rule of Austrian rulers, and South Italy, it was under the rule or domination of ruler of Spain. Central Italy, it was under the rule of Pope, and similarly Sardinia Piedmont area or the region of Italy, it was ruled by the Italian princely house. That means the native rulers of Italy or the real rulers of Italy, they were ruling only a small area, that is the Sardinia Piedmont. Okay, and the ruler of Sardinia Piedmont was Victor Emmanuel II. Now let us discuss how this sporadic, or how this ununited, or how this scattered dynasty of Italy was united. First of all, Giuseppe Mazzini tried the unification of Italy. Giuseppe Mazzini, we have already discussed about him. He was a revolutionary, and he also formed the secret societies, and he tried to unite Italy, but he could not succeed. Whatever, now the responsibility of unification of Italy was taken by Victor Emmanuel II. Victor Emmanuel II took the responsibility of unification of Italy. Victor Emmanuel II, he was the ruler of Sardinia Piedmont region of Italy. He took the responsibility of unification of Italy. And now, in the north of Italy, which was ruled by the Austrian rulers, not the Australian, but Austrian rulers. North of Italy, which was under the domination of Austrian rulers. Now, North Italy under the leadership of Chief Minister Cavour. Chief Minister Cavour. Cavour was the Chief Minister in the kingdom of Victor Emmanuel II. Okay. Cavour, Chief Minister of Victor Emmanuel II, he defeated Northern Austrian forces in 1859, and the unification of Italy started. Okay, that means first of all, Chief Minister Cavour, he was the Chief Minister of Victor Emmanuel II. He carried forward the order of Victor Emmanuel II, and he also defeated in the north Austrian forces, and he started the unification of Italy. Similarly, in the south, Giuseppe Garibaldi, with the support of peasants, or with the help of peasants, defeated Spanish forces in 1961. Okay, and similarly, central area of Italy, it was under the rule of the Pope. Now, Pope surrendered before King Emmanuel, and now the unification of Italy was successful. Similarly, in 1861, Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed King of United Italy. That means now the northern part of Italy, central part of Italy, and at the same time southern part of Italy and the Sardinia Piedmont region was totally united together. Now Italy was united, and Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed the King of United Italy in 1861. Okay. Now let us discuss about the unification of United Kingdom, or the Britain. Unification of Britain. Okay. Now, United Kingdom, present United Kingdom, it consists of Scotland, Wales, England, and Northern Ireland. Present United Kingdom consists of Scotland, Wales, England, and Northern Ireland. That means Scotland is having its own culture, tradition, its own ethnic composition, and at the same time England is also having its own culture, tradition, ethnic composition. Similarly, Northern Ireland also having the different culture, different ethnic composition or the tradition. That means there was no feeling of oneness. There was no common feeling. That means there was no idea of nation state. Now let us discuss how the Britain was united, or how United Kingdom came into existence. Okay. English became powerful and prosperous because of industrialization. First of all, England. We know that industrial revolution started from England, and the English people, they became powerful and prosperous. Why? Because of the industrialization. they became prosperous and they became powerful. So, in the year 1688, English Parliament seized power from monarch and moved ahead for unification. 1688, English Parliament seized the power from the monarch, that means from the king, and moved ahead for unification. Okay, 1707, Act of Union was signed. Act of Union was signed between England and Scotland and became Great Britain. That means after signing the Act of Union in the year 1707, Scotland and England both were united and Great Britain came into existence. Okay. Similarly, 1707, Wales also joined the Great Britain, and in the year 1801, Northern Ireland Northern Ireland joined into the United Kingdom. 1801, Northern Ireland joined into the United Kingdom. That means 1707, Act of Union was signed between England and Scotland. Now Great Britain came into existence, and 1707, Wales also joined the Great Britain, and 1801, Northern Ireland also joined the Great Britain. Okay, that means now it became the United Kingdom. Okay, 1801. Northern Ireland, when we talk about the Northern Ireland, there are two Irelands, one Republic of Ireland, another Northern Ireland. And in Northern Ireland, generally we find two groups of the Christian community, Protestant and the Catholic. And the Protestant group of the Christian community was supported by England, and finally the Northern Ireland, it was merged with the United Kingdom. Okay. Now, as I have already told that in the United Kingdom, Scotland, Wales, England, Northern Ireland, they had their different tradition, they had their different ethnic composition, culture, etc. So there was no question of common feeling or feeling of oneness or become a nation state. So to create the feeling of oneness, to create common feeling, to create feeling of oneness, or to create common feeling, what did the government do? Union Jack, that is the British flag, was introduced in United Kingdom. That means Union Jack, that is the British flag, was introduced in United Kingdom. That means wherever the people might be living, wherever they might be living in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England, whenever they have the British flag, that is the Union Jack, they might feel that yes, this is our flag and this is our country. That means through the British flag or Union Jack, they tried to create the feeling of oneness or the common feeling. Okay. Similarly, God Save Our Noble King, God Save Our Noble King became the national anthem of United Kingdom. That means wherever the people might be living, whether they might be living in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or the England, whenever they sing the national anthem, God Save Our Noble King, they might feel common feeling, they might feel some sort of oneness, okay, or commonness whenever they sing the national anthem. Yes, we all belong to United Kingdom. That means through the national anthem, God Save Our Noble King, also the feeling of oneness was created or common feeling was created. That means it helped in the making of the nation state. And similarly, English language was actively promoted in whole UK, so that if every people could speak English, whether they might be living in Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland or the England, if they spoke, all of them spoke English, definitely there might be the feeling of oneness. Yes, we all speak English and we all belong to the same nation. That means through these three measures, the feeling of oneness or the common feeling or the formation of the nation state came into existence in United Kingdom too. Okay, thank you.